Hey, Lindsay. Hey, Cleaning Nation. Good to see you. Lindsay's informed me one of the rare no theme days. We're just doing an Ask Me Anything. So if you are joining us in Facebook for the Facebook Live, feel free to put in the chat. Lindsay will, if it's a good question, Lindsay will put it on. And if not, Lindsay's got some questions that people have emailed in. You can email Lindsay at support@growmycleaningcompany.com. So that said, who's up first and how can we help, Lindsay?
Awesome. So we're going to pick it up from last week's live. A comment I didn't get to that I thought was a great question was from Spokane Office Cleaning. They wanted to know, what are some of the most effective ways to use client testimonials, written or video?
Golly, I've been coaching this space for a decade. I don't know that I've ever been asked that. Great question. Spokane Office Cleaning. So it's weird because certainly we want, especially when it comes to like online marketing, we want lots of reviews, more for the residential when they're like local service ads and stuff like that. They're going to look up the reviews. So please don't hear me discounting reviews by any stretch. The reality is, because you're a local service and it's a pretty like we do coaching, right? We're digital and who knows, maybe we're full of crap. Like it's hard to really know. So like having hundreds of testimonials goes a long way because like, all right, if they got the result, I'm pretty confident I'm going to get the result. With residential commercial cleaning, I don't know that people are like, are you really going to show up? Maybe you're going to take my credit card and you'll just be gone into the wind. Those are the kinds of concerns that reviews or customer testimonials best assuage. So honest to goodness, when it comes to commercial, I'm probably just going to really build relationships because I don't know that it's a long sales process, right? People don't typically get frustrated with their cleaner and then like hire someone the next day, right? They get frustrated, they think about it, they wait a little bit, they get more frustrated, maybe they reach out to a couple of people, they get some bids, they're too expensive, they put it off, the guy like it's kind of a back and forth. So building relationships is going to go quickly. Whereas, if you sent a bunch of customer testimonials, I don't know that they're like, well, Lindsay came out and did a sales call with me and really got clear on my pain and what it's costing me and why this is important. But I didn't trust her. But I see this video of some customer of Lindsay's. Now I trust her, right? So I really think the personal experience is going to be better. That said, if I was going to use a review, I'd want to make it look like Lindsay and have the same pain as Lindsay. So Lindsay's kind of a younger gal. If I was going to send a review to her, or not a review, a testimonial, it'd probably be of another younger gal, right? And maybe her pain is, on the commercial side, she's hired for this job and she kind of got stuck for the facilities management and it's taken up all her time. I might try and find another review or a testimony of a lady with that exact same pain. So I'd do more involved in the sales process. Like, hey, Lindsay, that reminds me of another client I had that had this same problem. And here's how we help them. And that would help. And then afterwards, I might send her like, hey, here's a video of, that woman I told you about. Here's a quick little thing. So again, it's a tough question because I don't want to be the jerk going, yeah, you can't really use them in marketing, but it's just not where I would definitely want lots of reviews, but that's not where I would focus on like leveraging them. Like, I don't think I would build a marketing campaign around those testimonials. I guess to answer your question, find the specific ones that match the specific client you're selling to and send them those or bring them up in conversation. And then you can always put them on social media and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it's really a call to action and offer. So even if you shared it, it's like, what's the call to action? What's the offer? Like I share, Lindsay is a happy client of mine. Like, so what? Like, if you want to be happy like Lindsay, call me. Like, it's not a weird thing. So good to have other ways, other tools I would use way before I was like, hey, I can really leverage these for clients. Really, that's got to be the squishiest answer I feel like I've ever given. I feel very unsatisfied even giving that answer. So I got to imagine our friends in Spokane are like, weak, Mike, weak, bring the better stuff. So anything to add or any questions, Lindsay, before we move on?
My only question is, say Spokane has videos and like testimonials, like, would you say is it even worth it to like use them as social media posts or anything like that? Like, assuming they already have it, like, not that they're going out of their way to make them.
Yeah, I would post them. It just wouldn't be my, like, just post them one after another and think I was going to get any results. So like I said, if I was telling a story and I thought it could help, like they would just be very ancillary. So I don't want people to be hearing like, you don't care. I'm like, no, I do care, but they would just be like extra tools. They're not going to be the meat of any marketing. Like, there's no way I could be like, and I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm just saying we've been doing this for a decade. We're pretty good at helping people get clients. Like, here's how you take client reviews and build $1 million cleaning company. I don't have that. They're really just tangential, like making things that you're already doing better. Like, I wouldn't be like social media plus testimonials equals new clients. I'd be like social media plus calls to action plus copy that speaks out to them equals new clients, and throwing in testimonials to make people feel comfortable certainly isn't going to hurt, might help. Um, yeah, I will say, and again, it's tough because I really like giving concrete, definitive answers, but like even on landing pages, a lot of times people put in a bunch of testimonials thinking it's helpful. And believe it or not, sometimes they hurt because again, if I say Lindsay's again, the facilities manager who's got a real job and this is her thing and whatever, and I have a testimony of a guy that's like, they saved me a bunch of money, or he's just a different person, or whatever. Lindsay might go, oh, this isn't me. That's a dude and he's old. He's got a different position. Like restaurant owner. It's like, I love Mike's cleaning company. And Lindsay's like, oh, I'm not that. I'm this other thing. So again, just be thoughtful. I mean, a lot of people are like, oh, if I just throw in a bunch of testimonials, that's gonna do it. But reality, all people care about is themselves, and testimonials are kind of about you. So again, if I can show Lindsay a testimonial of a person that she relates with that has her same pain that I was able to solve, and then make a call to action, that could be pretty powerful. But just here's some random happy customers that we've solved, I don't think is going to make Lindsay go, well, I didn't trust you before, but now I do.
All right, thanks for clarifying. I like that question, Spokane.
Yeah, that's a hard one. Like, rarely do I feel
Yeah,
stumped. Most of these, I'm like, I can answer this myself. That was a tough one, Spokane. I might have to think on that one.
yeah, we're making you work today, Mike. We're
I
making
know. I don't like, I don't like that. Come on. I'm old.
All right, here's another one. Adriana emailed this in and I kind of shortened it because she definitely had some pain. So Adriana said, we clean production plants and offices, but feel stuck and want to grow by getting more clients like this. We have teams ready for work. We are thinking of buying a franchise to grow our commercial business. Would you recommend this?
Gosh, that's such a great. We are solid on the questions so far. I like these AMAs. They really rock them. So they clean production plants and offices, and they want more clients like this. So first of all, Adriana, great job having a niche and knowing exactly who you want. That really is step one, is being clear on who you want. Second of all, it is very common for people to want businesses now, or businesses, new clients now, but it's a long process. I hate to be crude, but I've used this a couple of times. You can be with several women, 9 perhaps. You won't get a baby in a month. Like, it takes 9 months. So we kind of want to be like, well, I want clients now. So how can I get clients now? And it's like, well, on the residential side, it is a very short sales cycle, but on the commercial side, it can take weeks, oftentimes months, which is not unusual. So having teams ready for the work now isn't going to make me change foundationally how I do my business just to appease those teams. When it comes to thinking of buying a franchise, I never like slamming other people's business models. And I don't have any like lack of integrity, like, these franchises lie, cheat, or steal at all. So please don't hear me saying that. What I do have is, having coached for a decade, we coach to a 30% profit, meaning if your company's doing 100 grand a month in revenue, you should be making $30,000 a month in profit. We don't even take franchise on the commercial side. So there's residentials where they'll take like a 6% fee. We can work with it, and they do a bunch of marketing. Like, it's fine. On the commercial, like, I don't want to say any names, but where they're like, hey, you give us money, you can buy these accounts, and we'll take 20 or 30% of the revenue, and we'll bill them for you, and we'll get the accounts for you, and you just give us 20 or 30% of the revenue. Well, and most cleaning companies don't make 30%. We get our clients up to 30%, but I'd say 20 is probably more common. So if they're like, hey, you can give us money for this account, we'll just take 20%. Well, if the profit's 20%, they're only taking 20% of the revenue, but they're taking all of the profit. There's nothing left. So from my experience, and again, I've been doing this for a decade, if you're going to be in a commercial franchise that takes 20 to 30%, there's other franchise models that take less and they don't get the clients for you. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about where they do the clients for you, pay them for the clients, they take 20 or 30%. The only way to make money is clean, because the margins are so small, right? Like, you're getting 23 bucks an hour and it costs you $21 an hour to do everything. And you're like, well, that's $2 an hour. So what if you have 100 hours for clients? $200 a month, assuming there's no expenses at all, no software, no cell phones, no interviewing costs, no accounting, no, like, there's always costs. So if you want to clean toilets and maybe make a little bit of extra money, but you like doing the cleaning, franchises can be okay. But if you want a real business that operates where you have cleaners doing it, you have a real business that does not require you to work to get paid, I've not seen the franchise model succeed. So it can be very tempting. I'll go be with 9 women and get a baby in a month. But that's not really how it works out. Any baby that comes out in a month is probably not going to be in good shape anyway. So I don't recommend, for, again, to be clear, I don't recommend the franchise model for people who want to have a business and not a cleaning job. For like, I just want to fill my own cleaning schedule. Like, I just want to do the cleaning myself and keep all the money. And I'm not good at marketing, and I'll pay them to just bring me the accounts. That can be okay. But if and when you want to go to a job or a business that you own that doesn't require you to clean, I've not found the franchise model to work at all when they're taking 20, 30%.
Great. Yeah, that's another question I don't think we've had. I know we've addressed franchises, but not specifically commercial where they're buying the leads for you. So great question, Adriana. Thanks for sending that in.
Hey, Clean Nation, Mike Campion here. One of my least favorite things about these podcasts are we found that people love the show and they love the information, but when I talk to you guys in person, stuff doesn't get done. People love the podcast, but they don't take any action. If you'd like to actually implement this and get this done in your world, we have a whole team of people that do exactly that. If you go to growmycleaningcompany.com/talk, you can book a time with either myself personally or one of our teammates to at least help you come up with a plan to actually implement and change your life. So if you want to go from getting these good ideas in your head to getting them in your life, just book a free call with myself or my team, growmycleaningcompany.com/talk, and we can go from this one-to-many format to one-to-one and really get you some results. Excited to talk.
All right. Next up, we have Laura May from Facebook, and she wants to know, what is the most effective way to train new employees? She says, I feel like on training days, I'm paying someone to watch me work all day. And when they don't end up working out, I've wasted a whole workday plus payroll for those hours. I was thinking about doing training videos instead.
Yeah, so that's very common. People love their training videos, and they think if I just do the videos, people, A, watch the videos, they won't, and B, they'll just get to work right away. The reality is, and I've been preaching this for years, is you got to have a core values match person. And if you have a person who's not good at cleaning, but is a man or woman of their word, they do things right, that's just who they are. They can't stand to do something halfway. They're not going to need a lot of training. Regardless of what training you give them, they're going to be successful. You can also have people that are just there for a paycheck and they don't give a crap, and they're going to do the least amount they can do to get not to get fired. You can train those guys all you want, and they ain't going to do about a bunch of difference. So I promise you, the videos aren't going to be like, well, I watched the videos, here I go. It's really going to be on me and who I am and how if you got to give me the tools, of course. If I don't have a mop, I can't do it. If I don't know where the person's house is or how to get it, or the business or the alarm code, I can't get in. Fine. But if you just give them the tools, the training, we think better training equals better employees, better picking of who you've got, and the culture. If you've got a culture, we do stuff right, man. We got each other's back. Like if Lindsay and I were a team and I kind of just halfway did stuff and we had the right culture, she'd be like, hey man, you're making us both look stupid. Come on. Right. But if we had a culture of laziness, she'd be like, well, there you go. And you can't train that, right? It's not like Lindsay or I are like, should I miss some of the trash cans or should I not miss some? Like, we know what to do. It's not what to do. It's who you are. So please, 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 if you don't have a good culture and a good set of core values and people that match them are there for something more than the money, you can train them all you want, to get to work. And if you've got those right people, just get the heck out of their way. So training videos, I don't think are great. Really training is, here's what it feels and looks like to be a successful, happy member of this team. And sure, there's some skills that need to be done, but the right people figure out the skills on their own, and the wrong people won't figure them out no matter how articulate you are. So what we really want is, once you have core values, like Lindsay on our team by far has the biggest staff or people that report to her, and she does all the training. And I'll let you just say live, Lindsay, how much training have I given you on how to train people over the last, 5 years, however long we've been together? How much training have I given you on exactly how to train? How many videos did I give you that you needed to watch to train anybody? You can see Lindsay's laughing her tail off because she's like, it's a ridiculous question. I won't respond to it, but tell the people out there what's shaking.
I can respond. Yeah. So no, there's no videos.
Just no.
But you lead by example. So when we have a new project and something we're rolling out to our clients and we're piloting it, you definitely when I ask, hey, I need help, you jump on and lead and just kind of show me how it's done. And usually after one session, I'm like, okay, I got this. I can do this. So that's how we roll.
I wish I could be like, that's because I'm a great trainer. It's not, because Lindsay's the right fit and gives a crap and is a talented human being. So in the 5 years you've been here, please correct me if you think I'm overstating this. I'll bet you I've done less than 30 hours of training with you, all in. Like, I mean, not that we do weekly meetings, which isn't really training, it's us spending time. So I'm not saying we haven't spent time together, but me specifically demonstrating or teaching over the last 5 years, I got to imagine it's less than 30 hours.
Oh, definitely less than 30 for sure. Yeah.
And again, not because I'm a great trainer, but because I'm very clear on my core values, what it feels and looks like to be a good part of this team. And Lindsay matches who we are perfectly. Like, she would be just being Lindsay out there in the world on her own. And she saw us and like, oh, you guys do this for money? I would love to be a part of that. And I'm like, you're this kind of person out in the world. You should come be a part of this party I got going. And it just worked out great. So I just want to encourage you. The effective way to train new employees is to make the right hire, first of all, like a core values match. Just give them the tools they need, right? So Lindsay, it's not like I never give her any instruction. Like, hey, I'm just able to be like, here's the outcome that we want. You're a smart lady. Tell me what you think. And so what that would look like for a cleaner is you could, you get into like, here's the sanitizer. Now this is 3 parts water and 1 part sanitizer. Now here's the microfiber rags. We use those for this clean, but not and I'm not saying there can't be or shouldn't be any of that. But that should be like 10 or 15% of it. 85% of it is, hey, Lindsay, we have amazing clients that are sweet, hardworking people that are just exhausted when they come home. And the best day of their week is the day we're here. And when they come home, we just want them to be like, oh, the cleaners were here. I love them. Thank you, Mike and Lindsay. So when we leave, before we leave, we're just going to check and make sure if this is my home and I walked in, I feel really good about coming home. And if the answer is yes, we did a good job. Let's move on to the next one and feel good about ourselves. If it's not really, and it's going to stress them out and bum them out because we did a slovenly job, let's make it right. Like, that's all the training. And again, I'm not saying you shouldn't do some of the training, but that's really 90% of it. And most of the time people are watching us clean because we treat them like they're idiots. The reason Lindsay needs so little help is I treat her like she's really smart. And guess what? She's pretty smart. So I just be like, I give her the outcome. Hey, Lindsay, this is how the house needs to look. When I'm done, go get it. And Lindsay's not like, what's this room with this white porcelain thing? I'm confused. She's like, that's a toilet, Lindsay. She's like, she is familiar with toilets. She's probably cleaned a toilet of her own at some point. Same with the countertops, same with the trash. What is this bag of garbage? Where do I do? I'm confused. Like, she can probably sort this thing out. So treat your people like they're smart and they'll step up and ask good questions. Treat them like they'll be like, Lindsay, you can't just watch. Lindsay's like, okay, you want to pay me to not work? Done and done. You work and I'll watch it. If I'm like, hey, Lindsay, get at it. Here's the standard. She can get a lot more done. So just want to encourage you, if you've got the right people, you give them the freedom to be successful. There shouldn't be that much of them watching, like brain surgery. Maybe we have to have a lot of watching and slow down and you can't get in and easy peasy. When it comes to cleaning, they'll be fine, Laura.
Got it. And I'm going to hop in a chat because we had a great question come in from Joseph. He said, when do you know it's time to buy an auto scrubber or other specialty equipment? How long would you typically hope to use a specialty piece of equipment before you make your money back on it?
This is a good AMA because these are just like random questions, like not related, nothing, but they're good questions. Great. Did you say from Joseph?
That's from Joseph.
Joseph, great question, buddy. So this is obviously commercial. So for your residential home cleaning business, you should never buy a floor scrubber. It's not something we're going to be doing unless you've got some real weird homes. So on the commercial side, honest to goodness, I look at it globally. So if I'm doing less, because the thing, it's not just a scrubber, it's like, where are we going to put it? Like, how does it get there? A truck or a van? Well, whose truck or van is that? Now it's not just a scrub. I got to get a truck or a van. It's like, all right, well, I bought a truck or van. Well, where's that going to live? Like at my house, in a garage? Do I have to get fenced? Is it going to sit in the parking at the office? But can people break into it? There's a $30,000 auto. Like there's all these unintended consequences, right? Like, I forget who I was reading, but they talked about the cost for a TV and a comfy couch and surround sound ain't $8,000. It's the 600 hours of your time that's going to get sucked into that thing. That's the cost, right? So the cost of the auto scrubber isn't just the cost of the auto scrubber. It's like, well, how's it going to get there? What's the van? Who's going to insure it? Who's going to make sure it gets the oil change and the tires rotated and replaced? And if there's an accident, who's going to there's a lot of unintended costs that go along with that. So for me personally, to get that set up, of a floor work where I'm doing that, I need 10 grand a month of recurring revenue. I'm not going to do it for less. And if you're like, well, hold on. So for 5 grand, I got to just walk away from that. No, I'm going to pay someone else. So let's say I've got $5,000 a month of floor work and when I say truck mount, carpets, floors, whatever you want to do. And I get a 50% cost of goods sold, right? So I get 5 grand. I have my own truck to pay for the truck and the gas and the employees and blah, 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 blah. It costs me $2,500, leaves me $2,500 for overhead, right? Insurance, software, uniforms, blah, blah, blah. Lindsay's. And yeah, I got that $2,500 left over. If it's only going to be 5 grand, I can probably find another guy that I can give a wholesale rate to, right? Maybe he'll do it for 70 or 75%. So of that 5 grand, now all that's left is $1,500, but there's really no overhead. So you're like, he's got to buy the van. He's got to have the maintenance. He's got to deal with all the headache. So I take a smaller margin, but I don't have all of the headache it's going to cost me. So for me personally, if I can't make 10 grand a month total, not on a single account. So like if one account was like, we have $10,000 a month of floor work, I might consider buying a scrubber. But yeah, if it's going to be less than 10 grand a month, I'm going to sub it out. I'm going to find someone I can buy their services wholesale. Because again, same thing that the franchise is doing, right? I've got a job. You don't have to worry about billing or getting the job or any of that stuff. Just go do the work. I'm going to take 30% for finding it, 20 or 30. You're going to take 20 or 30. You're going to take 70 or 80 to do the work. Your margins are thinner, but you don't have to have all the headache. So just a rule of thumb, not like, again, the real answer would be like, hey, we need to coach you one-on-one. What's going on with your business? How fast do you want to grow? How much your clients need this? Or some other mitigating questions I'd want to have before I give a definitive answer. But generally, if it was less than 10 grand a month, I'm just going to sub it out. If I have more than 10 grand a month in that kind of in floor work, probably going to buy a scrubber and a burnisher and all that crap and do it myself. But I'm still going to try and grow. Like I'm not happy 10 grand a month having all that. I want to build the 20 or 30, but the 10 grand a month is kind of the proof of concept. All right. Do we have time for one more? Did I run out the clock with those?
I think you ran out the clock, but this is one of my favorite sessions, actually. I love the variety of questions we got. So keep it up, everyone.
Yeah, we got to Ask Me Anythings. Lots. I like those. So last thing I want to close with, Cleaning Nation, is this is one of the same things I tell our clients, right? The quality of the coaching I give is really based on the questions that you ask. So all those questions are fine questions, but none of them are going to transform your business. So if you're not making the money that you want, you're not growing as quickly as you want, you're cleaning too much or working too much, as good as those questions are, just asking and answering those questions aren't going to help you. What you really need is a framework for thinking, like, how do I set up my pricing and what I pay my employees and my overhead so I can make 30% profit? How do I always have enough good quality employees so there's a Lindsay in the batch of people I'm looking for that I can hire? So you really need the framework. And I get nervous especially when I can't talk back and forth and I'm just answering a question. They're helpful answers. But if your goal is just to kind of get some tips and tricks and make your life 2% easier, this podcast is great. But if you're like, no, I really want to make a definitive change. I want to double my business. I want to have something bigger. I want to get out of cleaning. I want to get more profitable. I want to scale. I want to sell it. You really need a whole overreaching framework and someone that can hold your hand and walk you through it that's done that stuff. And obviously that's what we do. So we love helping you the best we can on a podcast. And if you just want to make your life a little easier, the podcast is great for you. If you're like, no, I want to really change my life and do something awesome with the business, you can still reach out to support@growmycleaningcompany.com. You can email me, mike@growmycleaningcompany.com. Jump up, hit us in Facebook group, reach out. We have teams that'll help. Yeah, it's fun on these podcasts. These podcasts are more fun, less life-changing. Getting to work with people over a longer period of time helps change lives. So if that's you, take some action, do something different, get the results that you deserve. Talk soon.
Hey, Cleaning Nation, if you dug the content you just got, we don't do any ads and I don't sell anything on this podcast, but if you would just subscribe, rate, and review, it would be huge and I'd be so appreciative. Not only is it going to help me, but you'll help other owners of cleaning companies across the world work less, make more, and get profitable. So if you appreciate the value we give, again, subscribe, rate, and review. It would mean the world to me. I'd really appreciate it. And we sure appreciate your time and attention.